What if everything you thought you knew about Kirk Frost's messy love life was a complete lie? For years, the headlines have painted him as the unfaithful husband, the serial cheater caught up with side chicks and scandal. But now, a brand rumor is shaking the love and hip-hop world to its core, and this time, it flips the entire script upside down. Instead of Kirk being the one smashing Jasmine Washington, whispers claim the shocking opposite, that Kirk may have actually been letting other dudes smash him. Yes, you heard that right. And fans are losing their minds trying to process it. How did we get from Kirk sneaking around on Rashida to this level of jaw-dropping allegations? Could there really be receipts? And why are insiders saying Jasmine herself is involved in leaking these secrets? The streets are buzzing, social media is exploding, and even longtime Love and Hip Hop castmates are hinting that there's more to Kirk's double life than anyone could have imagined. Emotions are running high, the family is in chaos, and fans can't stop asking, did Jasmine ever really have the upper hand? Or was she covering for a scandal bigger than we could ever picture? Stick around, because this story is about to expose twists that nobody, and I mean nobody, was ready for. The whispers started small, almost like background noise in an already chaotic reality TV world, but quickly grew into a storm too loud to ignore. Fans who had followed Kirk Frost for years believed they had seen it all: cheating scandals, secret babies, and public humiliation for his wife, Rashida. But this new rumor, this explosive twist, was something different. Something that carried an energy so shocking that even the most loyal viewers didn't know how to react. According to insiders, Jasmine Washington, the woman at the center of Kirk's most infamous scandal, had hinted that Kirk's secret wasn't just infidelity, was about him allegedly letting other men get intimate with him behind closed doors. Claim was outrageous, salacious, and unbelievable to some. But the way it spread like wildfire suggested there might be more smoke to this fire than anyone expected. The first hints appeared on social media in cryptic posts that Jasmine liked and then unliked within minutes. A shady meme suggesting the real tea about Kirk hasn't even spilled yet was enough to make fans screenshot, share, and dissect every detail. Then, a voice note began circulating, allegedly Jasmine's, where she said, "Y'all think Kirk was smashing me, but the truth is, he wasn't even into me like that. Matter fact, he had his own little thing going on, and it wasn't with women." That single clip set off a frenzy. Comment sections blew up with shock and disbelief. Fans accused Jasmine of clout chasing, while others swore she wouldn't risk her reputation unless she had real dirt. Within hours, gossip blogs ran headlines so bold they almost looked unreal. Kirk Frost's secret life exposed. Not the cheater, but the one being cheated on. Fans are shook as Jasmine drops bombshell hints. Rashida, who had stood by Kirk through every imaginable scandal, was blindsided. Sources close to her claimed she was furious, not just at Jasmine for throwing more dirt on her marriage, but at Kirk himself, who hadn't said a word to defend or deny the allegations. Silence, in this world, was as good as confirmation, and Kirk's refusal to immediately address the rumors left fans speculating. In one episode of Love and Hip Hop, when producers asked him about the situation, Kirk simply smirked and said, "People always gonna talk. They don't know me." That one line, cryptic and evasive, only fueled the drama further. Jasmine, on the other hand, seemed to revel in the chaos she had stirred. During an Instagram live session, fans bombarded her with comments asking if the rumors were true. At first, she laughed it off, sipping her wine and ignoring the flood of questions. Then, with a sly grin, she said, "All I'm saying is, the man y'all think is running things, he wasn't running nothing. If y'all knew half the stuff I knew, you'd never look at him the same again." The live abruptly ended after that statement, but the damage had been done. Fans were left gasping, replaying her words over and over, convinced that she had just confirmed everything. The Frost household was reportedly in chaos. Rashida, who prided herself on controlling the narrative and keeping her brand strong, couldn't handle the idea of being dragged back into another scandal. "She's embarrassed," one insider claimed. "She's telling people that if Kirk doesn't clear this up, she doesn't know how much longer she can stand by him." Fans quickly turned the situation into memes, with some joking that Rashida had been fighting the wrong battles all along. But for Rashida, this wasn't a laughing matter. She had built her entire public image on being the loyal wife who forgave but stood strong. If this rumor took hold, it wouldn't just be Kirk's image on the line, it would be hers too. Meanwhile, Kirk's eldest son Kai was dragged into the mess. Fans began spamming his social media with questions about his father, and he finally snapped during a live session, angrily telling people to mind y'all business and stop dragging his family into lies. But his outburst did little to stop the speculation. In fact, it made people believe there was truth behind the rumors. If it's a lie, why y'all so defensive? One fan commented, a sentiment echoed across countless threads. The tension didn't stay confined to social media. At a recent Loved and Hip Hop taping, cameras reportedly caught Rashida confronting Kirk backstage. Eyewitnesses claimed her voice was shaking as she asked, "Are you really gonna let everybody believe this? Are you really hiding something from me again?" Kirk, in his usual calm but suspiciously nonchalant way, told her to stop feeding into Jasmine's games. But the cameras caught a flicker of guilt, a hesitation in his eyes that left viewers questioning what the truth really was. Adding fuel to the fire, another woman, an ex-friend of Jasmine's, came forward with claims that Jasmine had shown her messages between Kirk and unnamed men. She didn't share the receipts publicly, but her word alone was enough to push the rumors into overdrive. Jasmine wasn't lying. The woman said, "She told me straight up she caught Kirk in situations that would make your jaw drop. The girl kept receipts. Don't let him fool y'all." Fans couldn't believe the twists. It was one thing for Jasmine to say it, but when others started co-signing her claims, the story spiraled out of control. Producers of Love and Hip Hop saw the ratings gold in front of them and leaned in hard. In confessionals, cast members reacted with wide-eyed shock, whispering about what they had heard. Spice, one of the boldest voices on the show, didn't hold back, saying, "Chilly, if this true, Kirk been lying to everybody, and Rashida better open her eyes." Even Carly Red, always one to stir the pot, laughed in her confessional, saying, "I always knew something was off with Kirk. He was too calm every time Jasmine came around. Now it makes sense." As the rumor snowballed, Kirk's silence grew heavier. His refusal to either confirm or deny made the public lean into believing the worst. Fans on Twitter trended hashtags like #KirkExposed and #NotSoStraight, with countless jokes, memes, and think pieces dissecting every past scene, every past scandal, and every awkward moment of his time on the show. Suddenly, moments that once seemed normal were being reanalyzed with suspicion. A hug with a male friend, a lingering glance during a party scene. Even his overly defensive attitude whenever cheating was brought up, everything was being framed as possible evidence. Through it all, Jasmine seemed to thrive on the chaos. She posted selfies captioned with cryptic phrases like, "The truth always comes out," and "Receipts don't lie." Fans begged her to release screenshots, but she kept dangling the promise of proof without ever fully delivering. It was a masterclass in keeping the rumor mill alive. And she knew exactly how to keep the world talking. What no one expected, though, was how deeply it would fracture the Frost family. Rashida's mother reportedly confronted Kirk during a family dinner, demanding to know if the rumors were true. "You done embarrassed my daughter enough," she allegedly told him. "If you living a double life, you better come clean before it ruins everything." Kirk sat stone-faced, refusing to break, but his silence only deepened the suspicion. Fans were hooked, unable to look away as the drama escalated with every passing day. And just when it seemed the scandal couldn't get any bigger, a shocking development emerged. A blurred screenshot leaked online, allegedly showing Kirk in compromising text exchanges with another man. The image was quickly deleted, and some fans claimed it was doctored, but others swore it looked real. "That's his writing style, that's how he texts," one fan tweeted, dissecting the screenshot as if it were a crime scene photo. The leak reignited the firestorm, dragging the scandal into an even darker, more explosive territory. It was no longer just gossip, it was a full-blown war over Kirk's reputation, Rashida's loyalty, and Jasmine's credibility. And as fans waited for the next shoe to drop, one thing became clear. This story was far from over. The blurred screenshot floating across social media became the spark that turned whispers into an inferno. Fans zoomed in on every pixel, debating whether the text bubbles were authentic or a carefully crafted fake meant to destroy Kirk once and for all. Some claimed the grammar and phrasing matched Kirk's known texting style: short, abrupt sentences with his signature use of "you" instead of "you." Others argued it was too convenient, too perfectly scandalous to be real. But in the court of public opinion, perception often matters more than proof. And this perception was deadly. Jasmine, sensing the world's eyes locked on her, played her cards with precision. She didn't outright claim ownership of the screenshot, but she dropped a sly comment under one of the gossip blog posts, Sometimes receipts leak themselves. That single emoji-laced response sent fans spiraling into hysteria. Blogs picked it up instantly, with headlines screaming, "Jasmine confirms receipts," while Twitter trended #receiptsleak. The frenzy had reached a point of no return. Behind the scenes, Rashida was allegedly spiraling. Sources close to her revealed she was questioning every single thing she thought she knew about her husband. Late-night arguments reportedly echoed through their home, with Rashida demanding answers. "If it ain't true, why won't you say it? Why you so quiet, Kirk?" She was overheard yelling during one particularly heated exchange. Kirk's response, calm and infuriatingly vague, was, "You can't fight every lie people throw at you. Sometimes silence is the only way to win." But to Rashida, that silence wasn't strength, it was betrayal. The tension bled into filming. On set, Rashida was visibly shaken, snapping at producers who tried to push her into addressing the rumors directly. At one point, she broke down in tears during a confessional, saying, "I've stood by this man through so much. I've defended him when I looked stupid doing it. But if this is what he's hiding, I don't know if I can take any more. I can't." Fans who saw the preview clips before the episode aired already sensed this season would be one for the books. Meanwhile, Kirk attempted to downplay everything with his signature aloofness, showing up to scenes in sunglasses and giving one-liners like, "People make up stories when they jealous." But his demeanor only added gasoline to the fire. His nonchalance came across as arrogance, and fans weren't buying it. If it was a lie, he'd shut it down instantly. One fan wrote, "His silence tells me everything I need to know." Then came an unexpected twist. A former business partner of Kirk's surfaced with claims that he, too, had seen things that supported Jasmine's story. This man, who had worked closely with Kirk on club promotions years ago, hinted in a podcast interview that Kirk had private nights away from Rashida that raised eyebrows. "All I'll say is this," the partner teased, "people don't really know Kirk like they think they do. Trust me, I seen enough to keep my mouth shut until now. Jasmine ain't crazy." The podcast clip went viral within hours, and suddenly, the scandal had weight outside of just Jasmine's word. Fans were screaming for the full story, and every Love and Hip Hop castmate was asked to weigh in. Carly Red doubled down, saying, "I knew it. Kirk always looked uncomfortable around me when I asked him straight-up questions. Now it's all coming to light." Spice, never one to bite her tongue, cackled in her confessional, saying, "Chilly, the streets is talking. And this ain't no little rumor, it's a bombshell." At this point, fans began demanding Rashida leave Kirk once and for all. Comment sections under her posts were filled with, "Sis, you deserve better," and "How much humiliation can one woman take?" Rashida, however, kept her responses vague, posting quotes like, "Strength is knowing when to stay silent, and sometimes the storm is the test." Each cryptic caption only made fans speculate more about what was really going on behind the scenes. But the most shocking turn came when Jasmine herself threatened to go public with hard proof. During a late-night Instagram Live, she appeared, visibly tipsy, ranting to her followers while holding her phone dangerously close to the screen. "Y'all keep saying I'm lying. Y'all keep saying I'm clout chasing. But what if I just dropped everything right here, right now? What if I let the world see what Kirk been doing behind closed doors? Would y'all believe me then?" She scrolled through her phone, teasingly hovering over her gallery before abruptly cutting the live. Fans were left screaming in the comments, begging her to post the alleged receipts. Within minutes, #drop the receipts was trending worldwide. This new wave of tension forced Kirk into a corner. For the first time, he broke his silence publicly, posting a statement on Instagram that read, "People lie when they got nothing else to offer. My family know the truth. I'm not about to entertain lies for clout. Y'all want a show, watch TV. I'm living real life." While some fans applauded him for finally saying something, the majority weren't convinced. "That's not a denial," one fan wrote. "That's deflection." Others mocked the post, flooding it with clown emojis and comments like, "Living a double life ain't real life, Kirk." The fallout rippled across Atlanta. Rashida was spotted at an event without her wedding ring, sparking even more rumors that their marriage was officially on the rocks. Paparazzi photos showed her looking tense and avoiding questions from reporters, while Kirk walked a few steps behind her with his head down. The image of them so physically distant sent fans into a frenzy, interpreting it as a visual confirmation of their fractured relationship, as if things couldn't get worse. A mysterious Twitter account claiming to be connected to one of Kirk's alleged male partners surfaced. The account posted cryptic tweets like, "Funny how people act brand new when the truth surfaces, and he knows what we had." Although the account was quickly suspended, screenshots spread across every gossip page imaginable, locking in the idea that this scandal was not going away anytime soon. The Frost family name was officially in crisis. Rashida's boutiques were being review-bombed online by fans demanding she wake up, while Kirk's business ventures took a hit as sponsors reportedly pulled back from partnerships until the dust settled. Friends close to the couple described the atmosphere as toxic, with Rashida allegedly refusing to film certain scenes with Kirk unless producers promised to let her address her side without interference. And just as the public began to think this was the climax, Jasmine dropped one final bombshell that left everyone stunned. She claimed Kirk had once confided in her about his secret side, saying he couldn't be himself with Rashida because of how she'd react. Jasmine didn't provide direct evidence of this conversation, but the way she told it with such calm, confident detail made fans believe it wasn't a fabrication. "He told me straight up," she said. "He said, 'You don't understand, Jasmine. You're not the one I'm hiding from. It's her.'" The confession, true or not, was a dagger to Rashida's heart. Fans erupted with sympathy for her, but also with disbelief that she could still stand by Kirk after everything. "Sis, this is beyond cheating. This is betrayal on a whole other level," one fan tweeted, echoing the sentiment of thousands. And as the cameras kept rolling, as fans kept dissecting every glance, every word, every Instagram caption, the biggest question loomed larger than ever. Was Jasmine really exposing Kirk's darkest secret? Or was this just the most elaborate play for attention in love and hip-hop history? The fallout from Jasmine's so-called confession sent shockwaves through not only the Frost family but the entire love and hip-hop universe. Fans who had once laughed off her antics now leaned in closer, hanging on every word she spoke, convinced she was finally peeling back the curtain on Kirk's double life. The internet turned into a battlefield: Team Jasmine versus Team Kirk versus Team Rashida, and the drama bled far beyond the show itself. Every gossip site, every blog, every podcast seemed to have an opinion. And suddenly everyone was an expert on Kirk Frost's private affairs. For Rashida, the humiliation was unbearable. She had survived years of whispers, endured the baby scandal with Cannon, and brushed off countless accusations of Kirk's infidelity. But this was different. This wasn't about Kirk being unfaithful in the way the world had already branded him. This was about a complete unraveling of the image he had fought to maintain. Friends close to Rashida whispered that she was quietly consulting divorce attorneys, though she hadn't made any public moves yet. She was torn. If she walked away now, people would say Jasmine had won. But if she stayed, she risked being forever linked to one of the most humiliating scandals reality TV had ever seen. Kirk, as usual, tried to brush everything under the rug, but the cracks in his facade grew more visible by the day. On one Love and Hip Hop set, producers caught him snapping at cameras when a crew member casually asked about the rumors. "Don't play with me," he barked, his calm demeanor shattering into anger for the first time since the story broke. The clip never made it to TV, but it leaked online through a staffer, and suddenly, fans had their next piece of evidence. "Why he's so mad if it ain't true?" fans tweeted. "That's the reaction of a guilty man." Meanwhile, Jasmine continued to play puppet master, dangling the possibility of receipts without ever dropping them. In a particularly explosive moment, she showed up to an industry party where Rashida and Kirk were both in attendance. Eyewitnesses claimed Jasmine strutted in wearing a bold red dress, making sure to lock eyes with Rashida before heading straight to the bar. "She wanted to be seen," one attendee said. "She wasn't there for fun, she was there to stir the pot." Cameras captured Rashida whispering furiously to Kirk, who looked visibly uncomfortable as Jasmine laughed with her friends across the room. The tension was so thick, the entire event felt like it could implode at any second. Fans speculated that Jasmine and producers had worked out a deal to stretch this storyline as long as possible. After all, Love and Hip Hop thrived on chaos, and this scandal was ratings gold. Still, some cast members weren't thrilled about being dragged into Kirk's mess. Yandi Smith, normally calm and collected, was caught on mic saying, "This not even drama anymore. This is somebody's life unraveling. I don't even feel right laughing about it." But others, like Carly Red, leaned in hard, egging Jasmine on whenever they filmed together. "I think you should tell it all, girl," Carly said with her signature smirk. "They've been playing with you too long." What fans didn't expect, however, was for one of Kirk's closest male friends to suddenly vanish from social media. His pages were wiped clean overnight, and that disappearance became fuel for the rumor mill. "That's the one," fans claimed, pointing to old photos of the man hanging out with Kirk at clubs and events. The internet latched onto the theory that this mystery friend was the alleged partner Jasmine had hinted at. Conspiracy threads ran wild, dissecting body language from years of photos, piecing together timelines like detectives in a crime show. It was chaos, entertaining, messy, and utterly captivating. Inside the Frost household, the situation was reaching a breaking point. Sources claimed Rashida gave Kirk an ultimatum: either address the rumors publicly with a firm denial and proof, or she would walk. Kirk begged her to ignore Jasmine, insisting that giving the rumors energy would only validate them. But Rashida, tired of being dragged through the mud, reportedly told him, "I'm not about to be embarrassed again, Kirk. If you don't clear this up, I will." That conversation, caught by producers' hidden mics, became the centerpiece of teasers for the next season, sending fans into a frenzy. Then came another twist. A well-known Atlanta promoter claimed he had once walked in on Kirk in a compromising position at an afterparty years ago. He didn't provide details, but his insinuations were enough to keep the fire blazing. "Y'all think Jasmine lying?" he said during an IG rant. "Man, this been going on. People just didn't have the guts to say it." Screenshots of his rant flooded gossip blogs within minutes. The more people piled on, the more desperate Kirk seemed to appear. At one point, he posted a throwback photo of him and Rashida on vacation. Captioned, "Been solid, still solid, forever solid." But instead of silencing the noise, the comments section turned into a circus. Fans flooded the post with laughing emojis, rainbow flags, and sarcastic remarks like, "Solid with who though?" Rashida didn't like or comment on the post, which only deepened speculation that her loyalty was finally crumbling. The storyline took an even darker turn when Jasmine allegedly met with producers privately to discuss dropping full receipts. On air, insiders leaked that she presented evidence during the meeting but wanted financial incentives to release it publicly. This revelation enraged Rashida, who felt Jasmine was playing games with her family for money. "She don't care about the truth," Rashida raged in a confessional. "She just want to tear us down and get paid doing it." But Jasmine was unbothered. She continued to post cryptic captions like, "Truth hurts, but it heals," and "A liar can hide for years but receipts don't expire." Every post reignited the drama, keeping her at the center of the narrative, while Kirk scrambled to save face. By now, the Frost children were feeling the brunt of the scandal. Kai, who had already lashed out once online, went silent, deleting multiple posts and limiting comments. Rashida's younger kids were reportedly shielded from the mess. But fans worried about the long-term damage of growing up in the middle of such a public storm. "This not just reality TV anymore," one blogger wrote. "This is real life for their kids, and it's ugly." Still, the most jaw-dropping moment was yet to come. In a shocking preview clip for the next Love and Hip Hop reunion, Jasmine appeared on stage holding her phone. The audience gasped as she waved it in the air, saying, "Y'all ready to finally see the truth? 'Cause I'm tired of playing games." The screen cut to black before showing anything, but the tease was enough to send social media into a meltdown. Fans declared it would be the reunion of the decade, with speculation running rampant about what Jasmine was about to expose. The tension had reached a fever pitch. For Kirk, the walls were closing in. For Rashida, the choice between loyalty and self-respect loomed heavier than ever. And for Jasmine, the moment she had been building toward her ultimate revenge was about to arrive. Would she finally drop the bombshell that would end Kirk's image forever, or was it all another masterclass in manipulation? The world waited, biting nails, refreshing taglines, desperate to see the truth revealed. The reunion stage was packed, the audience buzzing louder than ever, and the energy in the air felt more like a courtroom than a TV set. The cast sat in their assigned seats, but all eyes were locked on one person. She held her phone in her hand like it was a weapon, her face calm yet confident, while Kirk sat stiffly beside Rashida, his arms crossed, his expression unreadable. Rashida's face, however, told another story. She looked furious, tense, her jaw clenched as if she was holding back everything she wanted to scream. Fans watching at home could already sense it. This was the moment the season had been building toward. The host leaned in, trying to keep the situation under control, but the drama had a life of its own. "Jasmine," the host said carefully, "the entire world wants to know. Do you have proof of the claims you've been making? Jasmine smirked, her nails tapping against the phone screen as she replied, I've been quiet long enough. People think I'm lying. People think I made this up. But the truth is right here. The audience erupted into gasps and cheers, while Kirk shifted uncomfortably in his seat, muttering, man, this is some bull. Rashida snapped her head toward him, hissing, you better hope she lying, Kirk, you better pray. Jasmine raised the phone, her thumb hovering as though she was about to airplay the contents onto the giant reunion screen. The host quickly jumped in, saying, now wait, we don't allow certain content on screen unless it's been cleared. Jasmine rolled her eyes but leaned closer to the mic. All I'll say is this. Y'all thought Kirk was the one doing the smashing. Wrong, dead wrong. He was the one getting smashed. The audience screamed. Castmates covered their mouths in shock, and the entire stage descended into chaos. Carly Red jumped out of her seat, yelling, I knew it. I knew something was off all these years. Spice cackled so hard she nearly fell over, fanning herself with her note cards. Even Yandy, who had tried to stay neutral, couldn't hide her wide-eyed disbelief. Kirk tried to stand, but Rashida yanked his arm, forcing him back into his chair. Sit down, she snapped. You not running from this one. Not this time. Kirk rubbed his forehead, muttering about lies and people clout chasing. But his words were drowned out by the audience chanting, receipts, receipts, receipts. The chant grew louder, shaking the room with pressure, and Jasmine smirked, clearly loving every second of it. Y'all ain't ready for the truth, she teased. What no one expected, though, was for another bombshell to come from someone completely unexpected. Midway through the shouting, a man from the audience stood up. Security tried to hold him back, but he shouted so loudly the microphones picked him up. Tell the truth, Kirk. You know me. You know what we had. The entire set froze. Gasps shot through the crowd like gunfire, and cameras whipped to capture the man's face. He was blurred for broadcast, but those in the studio swore the tension in Kirk's eyes gave everything away. Rashida turned pale, her mouth hanging open, while Jasmine simply crossed her arms and smirked even harder. See, she said into the mic. Y'all thought I was playing. The truth always comes out. Security escorted the man out, but the damage was irreversible. Social media exploded instantly. Hashtags like hashtag Kirk exposed and hashtag Jasmine was right trended worldwide. Clips of Rashida's horrified face circulated, with fans saying, she finally realizing she'd been fighting the wrong fight. Blogs pushed out articles within minutes. Man confronts Kirk at reunion claims, secret relationship. Even cast members who had stayed quiet couldn't resist jumping in online. Carly tweeted, chilly, I told y'all. While Spice posted a video of herself sipping tea with the caption, can't make this up. Backstage after the confrontation, Rashida allegedly broke down, sobbing as cameras rolled. I can't believe this, she cried, her voice cracking. I gave this man my life, my loyalty, my everything, and this is what I get. Humiliation after humiliation. Producers, of course, made sure not to cut the footage. It was TV gold. Meanwhile, Kirk stormed off set, yelling at crew members to stop filming him, but his retreat only looked worse, to fans. If he innocent, why he running? One viewer tweeted. A guilty man always walks away. Jasmine, meanwhile, basked in the spotlight. In her backstage interview, she leaned back in her chair with a sly smile. I told y'all I wasn't lying. People dragged me, called me messy, called me every name in the book. But now everybody knows the truth. And guess what? I still got more. The interviewer's jaw dropped. More. Jasmine nodded. Oh yeah, what y'all saw tonight. That was just the beginning. The fallout reached beyond the show. The very next morning, radio hosts across Atlanta were discussing nothing else. Callers debated whether Jasmine had finally delivered justice, or if she was orchestrating the biggest scam in reality TV history. One caller claimed to know the man from the audience, saying he had been bragging for years about his connection to Kirk. Another insisted Jasmine was paying people to lie just to destroy Kirk's name. The speculation grew so intense that even celebrities outside the love and hip-hop world began weighing in. A popular rapper tweeted, "Not Kirk out here living a double life." While a famous comedian joked, "Love and hip-hop should rename the show Secrets and Side Pieces." For Rashida though, the drama wasn't funny. Paparazzi caught her days later, leaving her boutique with sunglasses on, looking exhausted and avoiding questions. Fans speculated she had finally separated from Kirk, though neither confirmed it. Inside sources whispered that Rashida had told her closest friends she was done protecting him and was ready to put herself first for once. Whether she meant divorce or just emotional distance wasn't clear, but fans begged her to move on. Rashida deserves peace, one fan wrote. She can't keep cleaning up his mess forever. Kirk, on the other hand, went completely silent. No Instagram posts, no public appearances, nothing. His absence only fueled the fire, with fans convinced he was hiding until the storm passed. But in reality TV, silence is never the end, just the calm before another twist. And with Jasmine promising more, the world braced itself for whatever final blow she had left to deliver. Would she finally release the full unedited receipts? Would Rashida walk away and rebuild her empire without Kirk? Or would Kirk somehow flip the narrative one last time? Nobody knew for sure, but one thing was undeniable. The scandal had cemented itself as one of the wildest in love and hip-hop history. And the truth, whatever it was, had become bigger than the marriage. Bigger than Jasmine's revenge, and bigger than Kirk's reputation. It was now a cultural spectacle, with everyone watching, waiting, and ready for the next explosion. And just like that, we've reached the end of one of the messiest, wildest, and most jaw-dropping stories to ever shake the love and hip-hop world. What started as whispers about Kirk Frost's questionable loyalty spiraled into a full-blown scandal that no one saw coming. Jasmine dropped hints, fans ran wild with theories. Rashida faced her most painful humiliation yet, and Kirk sat in silence while the world demanded answers. From cryptic posts and leaked screenshots to that unforgettable reunion moment, where a man from the audience stood up and claimed his truth. This story has had every twist and turn imaginable. The fallout has left the Frost family divided, fans stunned, and the entire cast of Love and Hip Hop scrambling to pick sides. Was Jasmine exposing the truth, or was she orchestrating the greatest smear campaign in reality TV history? Did Kirk's silence mean guilt, or was he refusing to feed into the circus? And perhaps the biggest question of all, can Rashida ever forgive? Or is this finally the scandal that ends the marriage she fought so hard to hold together? One thing is certain, the drama is far from over, with Jasmine promising she's still holding on to more receipts, and Kirk refusing to clear the air. The next chapter could be even more explosive than what we've already seen. This saga has become bigger than a storyline. It's a phenomenon fans can't stop talking about, dissecting, and debating. But now it's your turn. What do you think? Do you believe Jasmine has been telling the truth all along, or is she simply playing the game for attention and ratings? Should Rashida finally walk away, or should she continue to stand by her husband? And most importantly, will Kirk ever step up and face the rumors head-on, or will silence be the only answer he gives? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we want to hear every single opinion. Don't forget to smash that like button if you were shocked by tonight's tea. Subscribe to the channel for even more reality TV bombshells, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Trust me, this story is only heating up, and you don't want to be left behind when the next round of receipts drops. This is one saga that's going to keep Atlanta and the entire world talking for a long, long time.